The horror phenomenon of 2026 is finally here. Obsession released into theaters this weekend. I was a little late to the party because I had work this week, but I saw it last night. Here's my review. Before I dive in, if you would subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. Comment down below. What are your opinions on Obsession? If you have seen it, if you have not seen it, go see this freaking movie. Go see it right now. Turn off the video, buy a ticket, go watch it right this second. And with that said, I was obviously very excited for it because, it debuted at film festivals. People said it was great. And then early screenings, people said it was like one of the greatest horror movies that they've ever seen. The last movie to get reactions like this one was Weapons from last year, the 2025 horror phenomenon, which, as you know, Weapons is absolutely awesome. So I was hoping Obsession would be just like that. And yeah, the hype's real. It's good. Wowzers. Wow. That was great. I loved it. There's so many things that I can talk about with this film, and there's so many things that I am going to talk about with the movie that, I gotta dive in. And it's hard to find a place to start, but I'm going to start with Indy Navarrete, who is Nikki in this movie, and she gives probably the greatest performance in a horror movie that I've ever seen. I'm just going to throw it out there. Others that come to mind, Amy Madigan from Weapons last year, and Toni Collette from Hereditary. She gives a performance on that level. It's that good. Every movement that she makes, whether it's moving her body or a facial expression or her eye movement, is genuinely terrifying. The way that she reads these sick and twisted lines is perfect. And she just gives one of those performances that you just got to see to believe. I was reading Letterboxd reviews and Twitter reactions before watching this movie, and it said that Indy Navarrete is a standout. And it's one of those times where I'm like, is her performance actually that good? Or is it going to be overhyped? Her performance actually is that good. If you know, the plot's obviously that she's forced to love this guy because of the wish. And you can tell with her eye movements that she is clearly trapped in this situation, begging to get out with her eye movements while saying these lines, doing these things. It's a performance you got to see to believe. It is that insane of a performance. And once you watch the movie and with her character, with all the things that happen, and the longer the movie goes on, the more sick and twisted it gets, you just can't help but feel pain for this character. It is a fantastic performance, written perfectly. Indy Navarrete, if she doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, the Oscars are going to be rigged. And the Oscars, I'm going to boycott them. I'm not actually going to boycott the Oscars. I'm not crazy. She needs nominated, dude. She was phenomenal. She definitely overshadows everyone in this cast, but the cast in general is great. Michael Johnston, phenomenal as Bear. As clearly, you go into the movie and you think, yeah, she's going to get sick and twisted and messed up. But he's clearly the villain here. And I don't think that's spoiling it because he, even by the trailer, he's essentially forcing her into loving him and taking away her free will. And it is sick and twisted. And the longer the movie goes on, the more stuff that happens with this character. You realize that he's a character that you can't help but root for, but he is the villain. He is worse than the character actually doing the messed up psycho stuff in the movie. And he just gives this very subtle performance. I wouldn't say subtle. That's not the right word here. He gives this crazy performance. Michael Johnston, insane. He was great. And obviously he's outshined by Indy Navarrete. And then you got Cooper Tomlinson, who is great in this movie as Ian. Curry Barker directed this movie. He's a comedian. Very funny guy. But, we'll talk about his direction here in a minute. But he is a very funny guy. So obviously there's going to be some humor in here. And Cooper Tomlinson as Ian is so funny in this movie. And he has lines that just add to the horror, but also genuinely evoke a laugh out of you throughout this movie. There are several lines that I'm not going to say because they were just so funny in the third act of the movie. Just peak timing the way he delivered those lines. So aside from the cast, this film is psychological horror at its best. And what I mean by that, you take a movie like Hokum from a couple weeks ago that I love, that was my favorite movie of the year, and now Obsession definitely took that over. But it's not really a psychological horror movie. It's got psychological elements there, but it's more the imagery and like what's actually going on. This is psychological horror because obviously you got the stuff with Nikki and she's going crazy and she's doing the messed up stuff. But what's the real horror of this movie is that you're following this character that is forced to do these things. She has no free will, and again, the performance by Indy Navarrete, she's forced to do these messed up things. And like I said, you can tell that she's trapped in the body in several sequences. It's a different kind of horror. And something that, like, whether it's an image or whether it's just a line, it's something that evokes feelings that I haven't felt before while watching a movie, ever. It's something that evokes a different kind of fear, where there's movies like Hokum, we'll take that for an example, where yes, did it freak me out? Yes. Was I scared during watching it? Yes. But that movie, when I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, it had some very tense moments, very scary moments, but I'm not, like, scared to sleep or anything. This one, it's a type of one that grasps into your gut and stays there, and you think about it, and it's so good in the psychological horror element. The themes here are perfect, whether it's themes about toxic relationships or other things I'm not going to dive into because that would give away some of the surprises and the spoilers here. But yeah, the themes all really work. It's a genuinely scary movie. The sound design, some imagery, very, very creepy. The sound design in particular, every scream in this movie feels like you're getting screamed at in real life. There's a point where I had to go to the bathroom, right? So I get up and I walk down the stairs at a scene that I thought that would be a nice time to do that, but as soon as I did, it was him laying in bed. I'll just say, it's the bedroom scene, the start of the bedroom scene. I hear one word, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm standing here at the edge of the stairs. I'm not missing this scene. I can hold it. So I just stand there, and the sound design is so good, and the speakers were right by my ear. That freaked me out even more. But even like when I was sitting up at the top row, because I sit at the top row because that's just where I prefer it. When I'm sitting at the top row, even the sound design, it feels like it's right there. And whether it's the score or the screams or just the noises, it's haunting. And some shots in the movie, I'm sure you've seen the shot with the flower pot, shot of her face. Like, it's all very freaky. And the cinematography, perfect. Curry Barker, he's on my radar instantly. I already know that he's making another movie with Aaron Paul. And that's already on my radar. I don't know anything about the movie. I don't know a plot or anything. But I know he's making another movie. Instantly on my radar after this. Because everything that he did in this movie is perfect. Whether it's the script that is great. Whether it's a psychological element. Whether it's just the idea in general. It is effective horror that's just unlike anything I've ever seen. You think about the premise. It's someone forced to be a psycho girlfriend. It's got, like, obviously the stuff, the carnage candy in the back half of the movie, but it's something different than anything I've ever seen. Whether it's just a performance, or whether it's just the themes of the movie, it's something special, and you know when you watch a movie and it's got just that special thing. This movie has it. Curry Barker, I've always liked him from YouTube. I'm gonna love him as a filmmaker. And if you just sit back and think, YouTubers and comedians can make great horror. You got Jordan Peele, who's just been obviously killing it. I know a lot of people have their issues with Us and Nope, but I adore Nope. Get Out, obviously considered one of the best horror films of the modern era. You got the Philippo brothers with Talk to Me and Bring Her Back. And then you got Curry Barker with this one. It's peak. It is such a peak movie. And, you know, the first 45 minutes definitely have some pacing issues, I will say. That came to a certain point before the bedroom scene. Like, the bedroom scene is a turning point for me because I was like, this is good, but, like, I'm not super invested in it. But then, boom, that happened. And it just flipped everything on its head and turned into one of the most peak horror films I have ever seen. I'm obsessed with Obsession. I cannot wait to bring my best friend to this movie. I went with my brother and his girl. My best friend couldn't go. And they both saw Hokum with me and they didn't think it was scary. They both saw this one and said it was freaky. So, yeah, they liked it. And I cannot wait to bring my best friend to see his reaction. So, awesome movie. Everything that you've heard that's positive about this movie is true. Obsession's great. Obsession is phenomenal. And I loved it. It actually made me do, this week I'm going to update my top 10 horror movies of the 2020s. So expect that video coming soon. And I might even do a spoiler review because there's so many things I want to touch on that I can't because I'm held from spoilers. Because I want the people that haven't seen this movie to also watch this review. So I'm not going to do a spoiler review right out the gate. But yeah, I might even do a spoiler review for this. If you want it, hit the like button. This movie is great. Before I give you my final score, if you would subscribe, hit that like button and the bell so you never miss another 2026 movie review. And comment down below if you've seen it, what did you think about it? And if you haven't, are you excited for it? And with that said, Obsession, whether it's the direction, the cinematography, the score, the sound design, or the fantastic performances, specifically by Indy Navarrete, this film is awesome. Despite the first 45 minutes being a little slow, as soon as you hit a certain point, it turns into one of the most terrifying and special horror movies. And when you watch a movie and you think special, that's a good sign for an up-and-coming filmmaker. With that said, Obsession, A+, Zach D, seal of approval. Obviously. Did you think it was going to get something else? Nah, it's getting the seal of approval, baby. Alright, so top 10 updated version of the 2020 horror movies coming this week. With that said, subscribe.